Hola, hola, muy buenos dias, continuous liners. Hi, hi, hi. How we all doing? Like out of breath. How we all doing on this second day of January 2025? We are here in the new year. It is the second day of Coffee Sketch 2025, and honestly, we're off to just a raging start. A raging start. I was on a bus for the first portion of the day yesterday, so I couldn't do my normal morning coffee sketch. But by the time I got to Mexico City, I jumped right on it. And I'm here in Roma Norte, la Ciudad de Mexico. I'm so excited for all the new people and the old people who are participating, right? Like, I wouldn't have the group if the people who didn't start 3 years ago with me. Well, I would have it, but it would be different. Anyways, for the people who this is their third year, this is your second year, this is your first year, welcome, welcome, welcome. I think it's super exciting, and I'm just hearing comments from everyone. Gosh, this is such a fun challenge. And as someone who does the drawing challenges around the year, this is honestly a very fun challenge. So those of you who don't know me, hello. Happy New Year. This is my drawing warm-up book that I make. I fill this with just your basic copy paper. And then what I do is I just do line warm-ups. The whole point of continuous line warm-ups is to not draw anything. It's just to warm up. It's to condition your hand to make, oftentimes when people start sketching, it's very sketchy, and there's not anything wrong with that. That's a style for a lot of people, but in this neighborhood, many folks are trying to get with the continuous line thing, and it's imperfect and it's your style. It's not like, oh, there's one right way to do it and everyone else is wrong. No, just like with art in general, there's a million different ways to do continuous line. There are no continuous line police. Do it as you wish, right? So what I encourage everyone to do when you're getting started with continuous line is my pen cracked. I always use a ballpoint pen, which is now cracked. So let's see how this goes. And I just make long lines. When I got to Mexico City yesterday, I was all frazzled. Not frazzled in a bad way, just frazzled, like getting stuff done. And I was about to draw my coffee, and I was like, you know what? Before I launch into that, I'm just going to do some lines. And I did. I sat down and ordered my coffee, and I just did some lines. And you know why? It's just a good way to get the anxiety out of your hand. It helps decrease that whole white page anxiety, blank page anxiety. I'm not going to say white page anymore. Blank page anxiety, right? There's always that thing. That's why oftentimes it's good just to throw some color down. But it doesn't matter. Another way to get through that anxiety is just to do some lines. One long continuous line. It doesn't have to be the way I do it. You can do your own. The only thing I encourage is that you don't draw anything, right? Like, don't be drawing kittens and flowers and coffee cups. There's time for that, right? In the beginning, just do some lines on copy paper with a cheap paper, cheap pen. Also, at the beginning of this coffee sketch thing, what I really want to recommend is don't worry about being perfect, right? When people start drawing for a while, you get to this place where you're like, I can't do a bad drawing. What will they think? What will they think? What will they think if I do a bad drawing, right? If things aren't accurate and things aren't perfect. And, I'm here to say nobody cares. Nobody cares if your drawing is perfect. Nobody cares if your coffee cup is perfect. Nobody cares if you got that design just right. Because honestly, the more you focus on trying to be perfect, the less life in your drawings, right? And this is really what I like to encourage with continuous line. It's not so much about, you got to keep your pen on the page and otherwise you're going to be arrested, right? It's not that. It's so that you infuse energy into your lines. I'm going to say that again. The reason why I encourage continuous line is not because you have to keep your pen on the page and no one ever has to say to me, oh, I lifted my pen, because honestly, nobody cares if you lift your pen. But what I'm here to tell you is we work on and practice the continuous line because it infuses energy into your lines. And, you know, there's like many schools of thought, art groups, you know, where people sort of belabor, like, if I it's not right unless it's accurate, right? And there's a time and a place for accuracy. I mean, I'm no saint, right? Like oh, muchísimas gracias. Yeah, so bonito. Look at this beautiful latte that just was delivered to me. Isn't that gorgeous? OMG, so pretty. Excuse me, I gotta take a sip of this right now. Actually, I would really like to get the hair out of my way. Do I have a clip here? I thought I did. I can't see a gall dang thing. Alright, maybe I just have to do this. There we go. Now I can see. Okay, look at that beautiful latte. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Oh my God, that's delicious. I'm at Cardinal Cafe here in Roma Norte. There's a few of these around town. I used to live right by the one in Condesa. It's where all the tour groups meet to go on the food tours. And really, what is going on? And it's right. What I love about Mexico City is that life is. Oh, here's my clip. I'm using it on my thing. The thing I love about Mexico City is that life is lived on the streets, and meals and coffees are on the street as well. And there's no other city that I have had this sort of experience with like Mexico City, because, you know, I'm from Chicago, and Chicago gets cold a couple months of the year, and so you can't always be sitting outside. I mean, I know there's the heat lamps and everything, but Mexico City, life is lived out on the street. Not even San Miguel. They don't have outdoor things like they do here. And it's part of the reason why I miss it and I love it so much, especially as someone who encourages coffee drawing challenges, to be able to sit outside. I had my 2 dogs with me when I lived here before, but to be outside with your dog and having a beautiful latte. The whole coffee culture here in Mexico City has just gone bonkers. It is a coffee lovers city. And the fact that you can be outside and eat great tacos. I mean, nobody does tacos like Mexico City. Nobody. What was I talking about? I was talking about trying to be perfect, all right? I mean, we know. I mean, I think one of the reasons why people come to my workshops, or have come to my workshops, or have signed up for my classes, is the biggest thing I hear is, there's no life in my drawing. It's all very controlled. It's very tight, right? And there's, you know, like if you're in urban sketchers or if you're doing reportage, there's this sense of like, it's got to be right. It's got to be accurate, right? Everyone will say, no, it doesn't need to be. But really, it's kind of like people are judged on that. I mean, that's the thing that drives me crazy about the urban sketching group. Like, if the beginners, they get no love, but the people who have been there forever and do these perfect sketches get all the love, right? Anyways, I'm not here to judge. Well, who far be it from me to judge, my God. Anyways, so the reason why I created is the continuous line storytelling is because I just knew I wanted to have an outlet to be crazy. I've always looked at like boring watercolors of churches and flowers and landscapes, and I'm like, oh my God, that, like, it's so boring to me. It's lifeless. Now, not every single one, but just generally speaking, I don't like landscapes. I don't like boring watercolors, and there's a lot of boring watercolors out there. I'm not judging, though. And if you make watercolors, if that's your bag, good for you. If you found the thing you love to do, keep doing it, right? But the thing that really like lit a fire for me was that I felt like the more I practiced my continuous line, the more energy infused into my drawings. And it's not accurate, but when I practice a continuous line, it becomes more accurate. It becomes more accurate because you, like as you're drawing your coffee cup into your, well, right here there's an agave plant, into a tree, into a taco stand, right? Like you start creating like neural pathways of drawing coffee cup, agave plant, tree, taco cart, whatever that is. So that starts to increase your composition chops when you draw things together, right? Like as opposed to just drawing my head and then stopping and then drawing this guy here, his back, his arm, and then stopping and then drawing that car. It's much more interesting like to draw, here's just an example, to draw the coffee, wah, 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 and then, oh, look, you can take this is like an elevator right here, blue scarf. Oh, look at that big noggin. Look at that huge head of hair. My God, who is she? What is this, the 80s? Yeah, I just washed my hair. When I wash my hair, it gets big like the 80s. It's not as big as it used to be. It used to be huge. Anyways, what am I talking about? I'm talking about drawing connected, right? You go coffee cup, right into Meagan, right into my scarf, right into my head, right into the tree. Oh, and what is, look at that little red car right there, right? So when you start drawing things connected, which is what we use the continuous line for, in addition to moving through your drawing fears, building compositional skills, and building confidence. So those of you who watch this, and I know the old timers don't watch my live streams anymore, they're like, yeah, we get it. Do your lines. Not the lines from the 80s. These lines, right? Just keep drawing. Fill in your page with lines. Cheap paper, cheap pen, right? Do it. It just builds, it strengthens eye-hand coordination. And so that when you are someplace, anywhere, and you're like, oh, I want to draw that coffee cup, your command, your hand hears that command and draws it. Now, maybe not perfectly and maybe not, oh no, we're not here for perfection at all in anything. Don't worry about perfection. If you're like struggling to make your coffee cup look perfect and to make the spoon look nice and make the flower vase next to it, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, but what I'm saying here is use this drawing challenge as a way to just learn trust in your hand, right? Have trust. Don't be like, when I first started drawing, I remember my drawing teacher would look at my drawings and say, oh, here's where you stop breathing. I can tell because everything about your line got restricted, right? Oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? So if you're feeling that curse of needing to be perfective in your coffee cups, please don't. Please don't. You have permission to play. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm like what you should do or anything, but here, let me just show you my, let me get this out of the way. I have made my own, a dedicated sketchbook for the coffee cup. Did I already show you this? I can't remember. So that's my logo, and by following your heart and your eye and your hand, it's the promised land. I feel like I had a tagline and I totally blew it. But anyways, I drew my continuous line coffee cup. See, that's pattern making coffee cups. And I just drew them around the page because this is my dedicated Coffee Sketch 2025 sketchbook, right? And so in a live stream last week, I demonstrated the pattern making. And by doing pattern making of coffee cups as a starter, you build compositional chops. Look at how cute they are. Cute. Right? And then yesterday I was, it was late, whatever, and I went and got not a macchiato, flat white. And I was very near the David statue in Roma Norte, right? And so I started right here. Boom. And went into my hand and then into the coffee and then my thumb, and then over here, and my fingers over there. And then I went right into, I was like, okay, there's that naked guy statue, which, you know, I drew him. I worked up this way and drew him from the feet up, right? And then did like loops of the water because there's water, right? So I did this like super simple, it wasn't about being fast, but I didn't care if I was being perfect. I wasn't trying to be precious. And that's the biggest thing I want to say to people in this coffee cup challenge. Don't worry about being precious. Don't worry about getting that perfect watercolor coffee cup drawing, right? Don't worry about it, because if you commit to this for 31 days, what's going to happen if you start being perfect right out of the gate? After about 7 days, you're going to be bored because you're like, yeah, it all looks the same now because I'm trying to be perfect with every sketch I do. I'm really hammering this in because the whole perfection thing, it pecks away at all of us. Peck, 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 peck. Generally speaking, we're a community of older women who have accomplished things, who've run businesses, who've run families, who run the finances, who keep everything together, right? And that's an amazing skill, and it's a lifetime. I'm not saying all women are like that, but generally speaking, that's what the women do, right? Keep it all together. And then women get to a certain age and they're like, oh, I have time for myself and I can start drawing again. I've always loved drawing, and so I'm going to start drawing again. I love watercolors. I love drawing. And so you do that. But with like everything else, because you've had to do everything perfectly for so long, so it becomes another task that you have to do perfectly. And while I don't have all the answers in life, and I still struggle with this stuff myself, I really do try to use some of these drawing challenges as a way just to be playful and to trust my hand. So there's a big van rumbling away. Use this opportunity as a way to be playful, to strengthen your eye-hand coordination, to enjoy some beautiful lattes in your coffees in your neighborhood, or make a coffee, or make some tea, or drink wine. Again, nobody cares if you don't drink coffee. Nobody cares. You must drink something. At some point in the day, you are drinking something. Whether it's a glass of water, bourbon, it doesn't matter. You're drinking something out of a vessel. And what's fun about the whole like coffee cup or any drinking vessel, it's like trying to get the energy of the shape of it. And coffee cups are fun too because of the handle, and maybe you got a hand in it. Oh, and look, it's attached to my big noggin or whatever. And it's just delicious. Whatever you're drinking in your cup, make sure it's delicious. Make sure it makes you feel happy. Make sure it makes you feel healthy, regenerated. What am I trying to say? And that, because this is a good, fun drawing challenge. This is not something like, I must do this and I must do it right. Otherwise, people won't think I'm an artist. They'll think I'm a failure, and a fraud, like everything else in my life. See that? The coffee has kicked in. So anyways, I am on my way. I'm going to do my Zoom class. I'm broadcasting live here from, where am I? Mexico City. And then tomorrow I'm off to San Francisco. And then I'll be broadcasting my classes from there, and the live streams. I'll be doing all that. It'll be much earlier. My classes will be at 8:30 in the morning as opposed to 10:30 now. Anyways, welcome again to all the Coffee Sketch 2025ers. Welcome if this is your first time. Welcome back if this is your third time. I love seeing all the coffee sketches. I love. They're so interesting. They're always just little slices of everyone's life. And that's what we're here for. Storytelling. The world needs the storytellers, right? We're about to go insane with the whole AI thing. So Be a storyteller. Tell your stories. Have fun with it. Make pretty pictures. Don't worry about being perfect. Just be playful, colorful if you want, black and white if you want, crayons, watercolor pencils, whatever it is you want, ballpoint pen. Do your thing. Don't feel obligated. So, Happy New Year, everyone. I'm going to be on my way, and I'll be checking back in with you soon. Happy New Year. Happy Coffee Sketch 2025. Peace out, man.